Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Hello and welcome to Star Wars Geek Girl. I'm Zoe, and as usual, I'm here with Lizzy.
Hello.
I forgot I'm trying to talk quiet so our levels are equal. My bad.
No, you're fine.
So we're for, the listeners. Try to keep it equal.
Got it.
Okay. Cannot be too excited about Star Wars. Have to be quiet.
No, you have to, but you have to, but you have to go it's quiet, but it's quite screamy.
So we're talking about the Mandalorian. I don't think we need to do spoiler warning.
No.
At this point, because we're running a little behind. It's cool though. It's chill.
If my
This is how we get it through the summer.
My work has watched the finale, then we definitely do not need.
Okay. Yes. So we are finally getting to the last two episodes. Chapter 23, The Spies, and Chapter 24, The Return. I forgot the name of it. The Return. Both the first 23 directed by Rick Famuyiwa. I think he also directed 24 too. I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure he directed both of them. Yes, he did. So awesome. He always delivers such amazing episodes. Super exciting stuff. Yeah, I guess we'll just talk about it. So The Spies. I got to see this episode at Celebration, like in the whole room full of everybody, which was awesome. It is so exciting to. It's always exciting to have a theater experience with Star Wars, and it was really fun to just laugh and gasp and everything with everybody.
The communal emotions.
Yes, there was a lot of laughing in this episode. At the beginning, we were not laughing at the end.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, so as I was talking, episode opens with Elia Kane walking on Coruscant. And she's walking all cool, and it's rainy. It's very film noir of her, and she meets with this probe droid that has a little hologram of Gideon. So that's who she's working for, is Moff Gideon.
Yep. Which
surprise.
I called that kind of in my head.
In your head.
In my head. Just in case it's not on the podcast, I definitely said it in my head.
Okay. Totally. I totally believe you. Just kidding. But yeah.
She talks to him about that they defeated the pirates on Navarro, which again I'm still confused as to
I guess they hired the pirates.
Well, yeah, but why Navarro?
Listen, maybe Gideon's just still a little salty.
Makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. He's smart, so maybe there is a reason for that. But then we see Gideon with with the Shadow Council.
Yes, there's an Imperial Shadow Council
of people there.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people. No Sloane. So what's up with that, guys? Anyway, Sloane's not there, and I miss her. We haven't gotten some Sloane content in a little while. What's she up to?
That's fair.
But yeah, so there's Moff Gideon. There's a couple people. There's Pelion, who Thrawn book readers will remember. It's kind of cool to see him make a jump to screen. I don't think he's been on screen before, so it's cool to see him make that jump. And we also saw Brendel Hux. It was crazy. Before they even said his
Yeah.
name, before he said anything, I was like, "That's Brendel Hux." Like the instant I saw him,
Yeah.
because they cast Domhnall Gleeson's brother, so it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw him, I was like, there he is. I thought it was Domhnall Gleeson. I was like, is Domhnall Gleeson pulling a Tim Morrison and playing his own dad? Because that's awesome. But it's his brother, which is also very cool.
Yeah, I was excited because I was like, I know that one from Phasma. I know that guy. Because
Yeah.
again, I didn't know anyone else in the room really,
I
like
don't
by
think
name.
I don't think anyone was anyone besides Pelion and Hux, and obviously Gideon.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I was glad about that, but at the time I was like, man, I feel stupid. Everyone's probably like, man, I know all of these people.
no, I mean I could be wrong, but I don't think any of them. I'm sure they had names in the credits, but I don't think anyone was like someone already. And there was no Sloan.
No
It's
Sloan.
fine.
Rest in
It's
peace.
fine. Yeah. So yeah, so they have their little meeting and they're talking about, they mentioned Project Necromancer, which I assume is the cloning project for Palpatine. So that's
Mm-hmm.
cool. They're kind of like dropping some seeds for that, like retroactively. uh, and they're talking about like Brendel Hux, which we know from the books that Brendel Hux is, you know, a cloning kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to make some special troopers. Um, and then Gideon is like, well, I want to do my stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, I want to do my stuff. And also, I'm going to go to Mandalore, and I need you guys to give me some Praetorian guards because I'm going to Mandalore. And they're like, fine, whatever, Gideon. Gideon's that kid on the playground that hogs all the toys.
Yeah. I
It's
was
my turn to play with the Praetorian guards.
Mom says it's my turn. I thought it was interesting that they were talking about Thrawn.
hmm
Um,
That was the
like
big
the
thing in the
return of
scene.
Thrawn.
The return of Grand Admiral Thrawn. And Gideon's like, well, Thrawn's not here. And we know Pelion is very much a right hand man, kind of, to Thrawn. Thrawn kind of goes through right hand men, but Pelion is one of them. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, so he's, obviously defending Thrawn and stuff. So talking about the return of Thrawn. So I assume this will tie into things we see later with Ahsoka, and then obviously Dave's movie, which is cool to see it all kind of come together. But so in the studio showcase, before we got to watch the whole episode, in the studio showcase, they showed us this opening scene. When they said Thrawn, everyone's like lost it
Mm-hmm.
in the studio showcase. It was really cool to be there
Nice.
for. So yeah, mention of Thrawn. So he's coming. I swear I'm excited about this. I'm just trying to keep my levels low so I don't break the mic.
No, just
um,
do it. It's fine. I'll get
yeah.
louder if I need to.
But see, I'm watching your levels, and me talking quietly is still like more than you talking a little louder. So I'm too loud. Um, that's okay. We'll figure it out.
It's
It's
fine.
new computers and all that kind of stuff. Um,
Yeah, I need to figure it out.
um, but yeah, so it was a very cool scene. I know I'm probably in the minority of this, but I love a good like council senate debate. I'm like, I love watching them. I think they're so interesting. Uh, so it's always fun to see, you know, people argue. It's entertaining, especially when they're bad guys. Because I'm like, I don't like any of you.
Yeah.
So it's just fun to watch you be like little petty turds. Oh wow.
Sorry.
Are you trying to figure it out again?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Um,
Okay, so not that loud.
um, yeah, technology,
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, but I don't. I have no idea. I can't
um,
even tell if it's from my computer or it's like actually connected to my headphones. I'll figure it out tonight. But
yeah,
for
um,
optimum
yeah.
podcasting.
But so basically, the end result of this little meeting, the Shadow Council, is Gideon gets his Praetorian guards and also some like I think gets some like troops, like extra troops and stuff to go take Mandalore because um he argues like, look, if the Mandalorians reunite, like Mandalorians are really hard to fight, and we've been kind of banking on them arguing with each other all this time. So if they come together, like that's very dangerous. Like, and that's why it seems like they had the Night of a Thousand Tears in the first place, is because Bo-Katan, reunited Mandalore, uh, and Rebels. Suddenly they're like, we gotta shut this down, and now they have just been letting them fight again. So if they can all come together again, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So while that's happening, on Navarro, all the Mandos are like meeting up. They've got all the like ships from the all the like ex-Imperial ships, and they like paint a huge uh mythosaur on the bottom. And so it's very cool. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, so they all like hang out, and so you got the Children of the Watch mixed with, Bo-Katan and her Mandos with their helmets off, and it's like a very cool, like they're, you know, starting to meld together and communicate, which is nice. And then I thought it was very funny. Grief walks into a crowd of Mandalorians and goes, Mando! And it's like, dude.
Yeah. Okay, but
It'd be like if I
so
walked into like one of my friend's houses and was like, "Hey, my pal American," like
yeah.
it just doesn't
Well,
make sense.
I I found that so it's a tequila. At first I thought it was a wine because
Oh,
he
yeah, he
brings.
gives him a. It wasn't wine. I thought it was wine.
Yeah, it's like a legit thing.
Oh, it
It's a
had a
tequila.
fancy
It's
little bottle.
like a $200 tequila.
I liked the fancy little bottle.
Yeah. It's called because I was like, oh, that'd be so cool to give to my dad for his birthday, and then I looked it up and it was like $200. And I was like, I'm so sorry, Dad. That is that is a
That's a
lot.
couple birthdays.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe like Christmas. Christmas, I can do it. I don't know how to pronounce this, but the brand is Cincoro. It's Cincoro tequila. Um, but yeah, she's pretty pricey. But like, it's the exact bottle. They just slapped a sticker on it that had meant like Orabesh on it.
That's pretty
So
cool. I didn't
yeah.
know that. But yeah, so he comes and he's like, "Oh, we have another present for you." Uh, so they go back to his like little office, and the Anzellans have so they took IG-11, and they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
fix his like brain, so they
Yeah.
turned him into like a little mech suit for Grogu, which is like kind of messed up. Like
Yeah, it's a little creepy,
like
but
L3 would freak. Uh, it was
it has a little space for
kind of messed
Grogu.
up. Yeah, but it
It
was
is a
also
little
very
messed up,
funny.
but now like Grogu can do more things.
Yes, now
Like
Grogu can walk around human level, and it was in the entire theater was cracking up, and I cracked up when I watched
mm-hmm.
it again of Grogu spamming Yes and no.
Mhm.
And
That's
him just
that's me and
he
Fortnite.
was just a little
Or
menace.
sorry, Fortnite. Freaking Overwatch.
He was
That's me in
just
Overwatch.
a little menace.
Little
Just
guy.
just picking up
I
whatever food
loved
he
when he
wants.
squeezed whatever like fruit he had.
It was a melee
Like
run.
yeah, it was just he just like squeezed like just I don't even think he meant to destroy it, but it just like disintegrated.
He was so destructive. It was so funny.
He's the
Oh,
greatest guy. What about the people he murdered? What murder?
it was so funny. He was just such a little menace.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
Yes.
It
Very silly little guy.
was a very, very amazing scene. Also, the Anzellan being slightly afraid of Grogu was also very funny.
Yes. Um.
Ah,
Yeah.
and Din is so done. That needs to be mentioned too, because that was also half the comedy. He is over it. He is not. He does not want this to happen, but it's happening.
Yeah. He kind of has no choice.
It was very funny.
Yes. What was gonna say? Yes. I liked it. I liked that. I mean, yeah, he's probably so excited. He can actually do things, and he probably feels like he can
Well,
help,
he can
which later
keep
he
up.
does.
It's so hard for him to waddle with those little legs.
Mm-hmm.
He can keep up now. He can destroy to his heart's content. He's living his best little Grogu life.
Yes.
And I support him wholeheartedly.
Yes. Yeah. Very.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Very yes.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cute. And he's in his Grogu's in his terrible twos. His terrible 50s.
Hmm.
It's great.
Yes.
uh his furious 50s. That's what it is. His furious 50s. Yeah, but basically, so they all go back to Mandalore. They're gonna go retake Mandalore. So they go and they land. They send like a little scouting party down to Mandalore to look around and see what's up. Um, and then they find there's like a cool like pirate ship, but on land. They had.
Mm.
There's like some surviving
Yeah,
Mandalorians.
I like it. I
Go
like
ahead.
the Mando pirates.
Yes, they were very cool. I love the one had a head of a B2 battle droid as a shoulder bell.
Hey there, this is John Scalise. I'm the host of the Beskar Bucket podcast. We talk anything and everything Star Wars. Our goal is to highlight all of the different aspects of the Star Wars community, specifically all of the wonderful creators out there. You can find us wherever podcasts are found. You can also find me at John Scalise on TikTok. That's at JOHNSCALISE. Thank you so much for listening. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Hello.
Hello, I didn't realize I was muted.
Oh, I was like,
My bee.
that's not working.
No, it's fine,
Hi.
but your levels are much better now. So
Okay. I was
yay, I can be excited
like,
again.
I was like, okay, Chris, come over here. I was like, I think I can figure it out. And after like 5 minutes, I was like, this is not fast enough.
Oh no.
And then everything shut down. I was like, oh, I did not press the correct thing. But okay.
We figured it out. We're back. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
What
Awesome.
were we talking
We
about?
can be
Oh,
excited.
the awesome pirate Mandos. I really
Yes.
like. There's one with the a B2 droid, like a B2 battle droid. Its head is like his shoulder. It's so sick.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
I liked all the raps and stuff they had. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
that's not to look cool, just because they're like hurt and stuff.
It's a
But
little
like,
bit to look cool.
yeah. But I was like, oh, they look so cool, and like, I love the respect they have for Bo-Katan too.
Yes.
Bo-Katan.
As soon as
Like-
they like hear her voice and see her armor, they're like, "Is this Bo? Is this our Lady Bo? Like we're here, we're here to
We're
serve
here."
you." It was awesome.
Mhm.
She deserves
It was
it.
very. It was very. I liked it, especially because like these other people are not loyal, and
No.
to see that she has these loyal people, like that's good. It's good.
To see people putting respect on her name
Mm-hmm.
was very nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, they totally respect her, and then they're like, oh, because they want to go to Sundari, and they're trying to go, they want to go to the forge and like have that be their kind of center as they start to rebuild.
Yes.
So they're like, they take a little trip, and they're on their little land boat thing to hang out. The armor takes some of the wounded Mandos. She starts taking them up to the ship to get some like medicine, because obviously those supplies are short on Apocalypse Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, they go down, and we have some very nice like interactions there. Like Bo and Din have a very, very awesome conversation. When Din like
Mm-hmm.
basically swears his loyalty to her, which is very cool. He's very poetic. I think Din should be a poet. I think that's his true calling.
Yes.
None of this
A
bounty
song
hunting.
creator.
None of this bounty hunting stuff. I think he should be a bard and tell the
Mhm.
stories of Mandalore.
Right.
But yeah, and then we also get Axe Woves. Was it Axe and Paz?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Axe was
and
being
Paz.
a little racist.
Yeah. They were like playing a board game or something, which is like, oh look, they're playing games. It's so nice. And then they pull out the knife and they start
Yeah.
fighting.
Cause Axe was like, yeah, I guess these are like, hillbilly like rules. And I was like, you jerk. You could have said nothing. Whatever. Jerk.
Yeah. Yeah. So they pull out the knife, and Din it goes to like kind of step in and stop them. But Bo is
Mhm.
like, like no one, like neither side can stop them, like it's not, we're not taking sides. But then Grogu comes in with his little mech suit, and he goes, no, 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 no,
No, no.
no,
Yes.
and he
It was very
breaks
cute.
it up. And Kreese said like, oh, Din, you taught him well, and Din's like, I didn't teach him that. Which I think is a little reference to kind of Grogu's Jedi tendencies.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see Grogu walk as he grows up, kind of walk multiple paths in life with multiple philosophies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so the armor is taking the wounded bandos up, and then there's like big monster.
Yeah. Big dinosaur.
The Mandos are like constantly getting attacked by big like dinosaur things. I don't know what it is. It's like I feel like anytime there's a bunch of Mandos together, there's gonna be some creature.
And they can't they don't defeat it either.
No, they're not very good at defeating it. This is this season alone, this is like the third time a group of Mandos has been attacked by a giant monster. There are 8 episodes in the whole show, and in 3 of them, and almost half of them, a group of Mandos gets attacked by a giant monster. Like, they need to get better at being prepared for this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if any of them died, but it didn't seem like it, so they kind of
I
just
don't
kind of
think
escaped.
I think they're okay, yeah. But they escaped into like these caves, kind of like where the forge was. They go into the caves and like, oh, the forge is this way. Um, and they're like going through the
Mhm.
ruins of Sundari and stuff. Um, and they're like, and like
Yes.
we get to learn a bit about the survivors. Like, I guess I don't know if it was purposeful or I assume they didn't have access to a working ship. So like we've been here the whole time, and the people usually
Mhm.
don't survive exploring in these caves, and we kind of figure out why. Because we get some Imperial commandos. They kind of reminded me of like Gar Saxon and his Mandos from Rebels, but I don't think they were actually like Mandalorians turned stormtroopers. I think they were stormtroopers trying to be Mandalorians, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That is the vibe I got, with no evidence, I guess. I guess, but there's evidence the other way. I don't know. Just the vibe.
Mhm.
Just the vibe.
The
Uh,
vibes.
but yeah. So then Axe goes, and he's like, "I'll go get reinforcements from the fleet." So they like kind of give him cover fire while they're fighting all these guys. It was a really cool fight. They're pew pewing and flying around, and
Mhm.
it's cool when people with jetpacks fight people who also have jetpacks.
It's
You
like
know,
Farah on Farah.
Yeah, well, because sometimes using Overwatch, sometimes you're just, you're a little dude running around and there's a far up above you, and it's like, you're just getting bombed from above.
Yeah.
But when it's two Faras, or even if you got like an Echo up there, like it's a bit more fun. It's a bit more exciting. Like, oh, we're in the air fighting,
Yeah, we're
you
missing
know?
all of our shots. Let's see
Okay, but
who's
I mean,
gonna win.
Farah was very different from the Mandos, but
Yeah. I
it's
think there
cool.
should be that, but I should be Farah and I should just punch people. Like I don't like shoot them at all. Like in the air if there's another Farah, I just punch them to death. Just like the what's her name? Oh my god.
The armorer.
The armorer just
Oh
punches
yeah.
and like destroys people with like her tools. That's what I aspire to be now.
Or like a better example is like in Battlefront 2,
Hmm.
the only flying character is Boba. So if you're on the light side, you don't get to fly. And it's
Yeah.
like, Boba's just up there, just up there
Hmm.
shooting you.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's fun. In the air combat is just cool. It's dogfights though with people.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so they fight them and then they get kind of like trapped in a little blast door, except for like Din and like a couple other people are like not stopped, are not in the doors. And so they fight, and Din gets like captured. He's all tied up.
Yes.
And then Moff Gideon, and Din put up a really good fight. It was really cool. His using his fire and stuff. It was very
Hmm.
cool to watch. Choreographed very well. Then
Yes.
Moff Gideon shows up, and he has a like. He looks so sick. I can't wait to see the cosplays. He's got like it's like a mix of like the Dark Trooper armor and like Mandalorian armor. Like he's a Mandalorian helmet, and he's got like
Hmm.
the big maul horns on it. Uh,
Yeah, I liked it a lot, but also like he kept being like, "Yeah, this is it's now perfect because of me." And I
cause
was
it's
like,
me.
"What? Why?" But like, you're not special. Like,
Why
I'm sure
you?
you're special, but like, like,
He listen. He's got really good self confidence. Um,
I guess
but it
so. I
it was
wish I
cool.
had that.
It was reinforced. Like there's like hydraulics in it. Like when he moved, it had a like there was like a whirring sound. It was
Hmm.
very interesting. And so yeah, I guess basically he kind of said like his plan was he's going to create like a new super army. So he has like Mandalorian armor. And so I guess the reason they were after Grogu in season 1 was because he wanted Grogu DNA. He wanted Pershing to get Grogu DNA and
Yes.
isolate the force sensitivity. So we could have
Mhm.
force sensitive Moff Gideons in Mando armor. That was like his ultimate army.
Pretty
Which,
much.
I mean, sounds pretty
OP.
ultimate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't argue with his logic. I mean, yeah.
Like, you're right. Don't, though, because that's scary.
Right. But yeah, so basically, Moff Gideon's like, surrender! And they're like, no! And so they, so Bo-Katan cuts like a hole in like the one door so that everyone can escape with the Darksaber.
Mhm.
And Paz Vizsla like gives a covering fire, and then she's like, Paz, come on! And he's like, no, I gotta stay. This is the way. And he had this like freaking awesome final stand. It was so cool. Very
Yeah.
like
He
Commander
slayed.
Thorn. He slayed a lot. That's because he wiped. He's so super outnumbered by all these Imperial Commandos, and he wipes them out. His gun overheats and he can't fire anymore, so he just starts hitting them with it. He was
Mhm.
amazing. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And he did it. Like he killed all the Imperial commandos. He got them all.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh my gosh, like he did it. And then there's these Praetorian
Yeah.
guards that show up,
Yeah.
and so it was awesome. He like had his little
Yeah.
shield and he pulled out his knife, and
He did pretty good.
you
He did
know,
very good.
for how like absolutely wiped he must have been, and the fact that he was underarmed compared to them,
Mhm.
did it really good. Honestly, like shout
Also,
out
just
to
like
Paz Vizsla. That was like what a way
the
to
way
go.
he died, it must have been excruciating.
Oh, it was brutal though. It was brutal, but like what a way to go. Like what a way to send off such a cool character.
Mhm.
It's awesome. And now his son's an orphan, so
Yeah.
yikes.
That's how it be for a foundling, I guess.
That's how it be. Oh man, if he's like a foundling, maybe he's like double orphan now. That's rough.
Dang.
Double orphaned.
Can't keep a parent to save your life.
Man, Ragnar. Well, that's what you get for being named Ragnar, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Just kidding. If your name is Ragnar.
Not really, though.
No, if your name is Ragnar, it's a cool name. It makes me think of Skyrim.
I did not
But
play.
yeah, poor Ragnar Vizsla. But yeah, it was an amazing. There's something to be said about a good final stand in Star Wars, especially. I don't know why they always have the like minigun. Like there's Heavy and Commander Thorn and now Paz and for others.
Mhm.
And there's something to be said about a good final stand scene like that.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of the same scene every time in a way, but it works. It's good, you know. It's it's a great trope. Oh, and I'm a
Mhm.
Gundai and Captain Keeley. Shout out to those guys. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, and watching it celebration was cool because like we were there's a lot of like laughing, cheering, and stuff throughout the episode, and there was just a silence through that scene. And the episode ends there, and everyone like erupts. But like the silence during that scene was very intense. Also Grogu's little face when Din is getting captured and taken away. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm owed emotional damages for that. That was just cruel. Don't make me watch him be sad ever again. Ever.
Yeah.
That was
I.
that was just mean. It was just mean.
Mhm. Poor baby.
Grogu is not allowed to be double orphaned.
Well, thankfully we know that he wasn't. Spoiler alert, they're okay,
Not
and he
yet.
still has a dad.
Not yet. I guess
Yeah.
Grogu is inevitably gonna be double orphaned because of like
I guess, but not
lifespan.
really. That's like your parent
Well-
passing away when you're 80.
Well, when he's 80,
Like, you're not an
he's still
orphan.
gonna be. Well, when he's 80, he's still gonna be a little thing. How old's Din? Like, what? 30 something? 40, 30 something, 40?
40? I want to say 40-ish.
So let's say, assuming he doesn't get killed tragically, which you never know. Assuming he doesn't get killed tragically, he's got what, like 40 years left? Grogu will be 90. If he's 50 and he's in his terrible twos, or it was, I don't know. I don't know how lifespans work.
But like,
He
are
could
you
still
an
be a kid.
orphan if like your parent passes from like natural causes?
If you're a child and your parents die,
if
you're an
still a
orphan.
I guess.
Your orphan is a child with dead parents.
I feel like it's different for this situation.
If your parents are dead, your parents are dead. It's one. I mean, maybe it's one thing when you're an adult. I don't know if you'd call someone whose parents passed when, like, if someone's in their like 50s and their parents pass. I don't know if you'd call them an orphan. But if you're a child and your parents die, you're an orphan. I don't think it matters how they die.
I don't know,
get
bro.
sent to the orphanage.
I don't know. I have no idea how Star Wars rules work. The laws of the land.
Star Wars rules. This is
but this isn't Star Wars.
words.
This isn't real life rules. It's Star Wars rules.
But I don't see how it would be different if you're an orphan. I just don't see how it's different. Your parents are still dead.
I don't know. I'm not Dave Filoni.
I don't think this is a Dave Filoni. I think this is the definition of the word orphan.
I'm not Dave Filoni. Okay?
I don't think he decided
I promise.
that. I don't think Dave Filoni invented the English language.
You never know. Are you doubting Dave Filoni?
I guess.
It sounds like you're doubting Dave Filoni himself.
I guess I am. I guess.
Wow.
I don't think Dave Filoni said this though. I think you said this.
I'm gonna like crop out like Dave Filoni like say just throughout his years of like being on camera and saying things. I'm gonna crop out and be like, I created the English language.
Oh gosh.
You're welcome. But anyway, so the next episode.
The final episode of season 3. I enjoyed this one a lot. I had a good time.
I liked the ending a lot.
The ending was top tier. I had a good time with this one.
Like, obviously, the endings are like usually always good, but like this one was just like, I just really liked it. It was like my favorite part of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a great compared to like, I don't know, because like I would say it would be very easy to say like at season 1 of Mando kind of ends like A New Hope. Season 2 of Mando ends like Empire, and this is the Return of the Jedi. This is everything is okay, at least for now. Like, it's just very nice. Nice wrap up on everything. But yeah, it doesn't start so nice though. So Axe goes. Oh, and I think we at least need to mention there was a whole thing, like the whole week between episodes of like who, because episode, chapter 23 is called The Spies. So everyone's like, okay, Elia Kane's one spy, but it's plural. Who's the other spy? So people are doubting the armor. Like everyone's like, maybe like the like survivor Mandas, the pirate Mandas are like the spies. Maybe it's armor, maybe it's Axe Wolves. I fully was team Axe Wolves as a spy. I don't trust him. So I'm sorry, Axe. I really owe you an apology. You came through. I'm sorry for doubting you.
I mean,
I really thought he was gonna be the spy. So sorry, bro.
I figured the spy was just gonna be the girl in the beginning. I was just like, yeah, it's them.
But it's plural.
All right,
That's the
moving on.
thing.
That's the spy.
It was the spies, though. It was plural.
I know,
Spies.
but I was like,
She's
we
not
got
two
a
people.
spy.
Oh,
You never know.
I fully thought Axe Wolves was gonna be the spy, but now that we know like there wasn't another spy, I think the spies refers to the scouting team. Someone pointed out like because we know, especially this season is really like some biblical references, and that was like people sent out to scout were called spies in some biblical stories, and in general, that's a less common version of scouts is spies. You know, because you're going out to look out for things, to spy on things.
But did they
You know,
spy
I
anything?
spy. I spy with my little eye.
Did they scout anything?
Well, they were seeing to make sure the land was safe, that the air wasn't poisoned. They
Oh,
were
yeah,
looking
I
for
guess.
Sundari, looking for the forge. Yeah, that's what they were sent on to do. So I think that's what the spies means. But it was a very fun week of me not trusting Axe Wolves. I was like, of course you want to get out of there right when they're attacking. Of course you do, you snitch.
Mhm.
But Axe Wolves is chill, so sorry, bro. Still think your name should be Axe Wolves, though. But
He's still racist.
yeah, no, that still sucks. But apologies to Axe Wolves for doubting his alliances. You're a real one for that, Axe. Yeah. So Axe goes up, and he and Bo kind of have a plan. So they're going to evacuate all the Mando ships, or no, evacuate the big ship, and put everyone on the small ships, or send them to the ground, and then crash the big ship into the thing. Which I mean, it worked. I think they could have probably waited to decide they were going to do that. That seems like a very drastic first choice of plan. Like, you know, I think we could have come up with some other ideas, maybe like tried to,
Nah.
you know, because you know that would have been a useful ship to have, and also like you're trying to rebuild Mandalore. You're gonna have to clean that up.
With that, I thought it was. I thought he was gonna like die. I thought he was gonna die with it, because I was fine with him destroying the ship. I was like, you know what? It's a ship. It's whatever. There's like the Empire's gone, so there's like a bunch of them around. Maybe I don't know. I'm not Dave Filoni, but so I was like, wait, is he gonna die? Is he gonna suicide? Like you know, freaking Holdo? Like, is that what's gonna happen? Like, because there's no point. You can just crash it down and then escape. And he didn't get out for until like the end, where he like
No,
the very end.
He was staying there. Yeah. No, I just think that was their first idea. I was like, that's not.
Yeah.
I don't know if like you could have at least tried something else first, maybe. Like there's big
No.
guns on that ship. They could have been helpful, maybe. But I mean, you know what? It worked. So if they want to clean that up, that's on them. I'm not the one doing the cleaning.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Axe goes up to the ship. And he tells all the other men there's a plan, so working on that. Din actually escapes from the Imperials. This is a pretty cool fight because he didn't have any of his weapons, and he's just like, pow, pow, pow. But then he's like getting choked by the one, and it's like, oh no, Din. And then IG-12 comes in and takes him out. And Grogu saves him. And then it was really cute. Grogu just, because, you know, IG-11 had that, like, healing spray stuff.
Oh.
Like, in season 1. And Grogu just starts spraying it all over him. He's like, I know this does something. I'm just going to start doing it. It was so cute.
That, a lot of, because I'm playing Overwatch now all the time, I was just like, that's me as Moira when my team is full health, but I have some of my healing anyway, I'm just throwing it at them. Like, that was so good.
It was so cute.
I loved it. I also like that he can just like I understand, like I think it's very funny that he can say yes, no, yes, but also it's just like he can express himself now. Like maybe it's very limited, but like it's good. Like
It's
he
a step.
can do that.
Until he starts talking, it's a good step.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, so they, he frees Din, and they're like, okay, we gotta go get Gideon. Like, we gotta end this, you know. So meanwhile, Bo is leading her other Mandos uh, into the one cave. Din is like, okay, Bo, we're gonna go get Gideon. And Bo is like, okay, we're gonna leave. Good luck.
yeah.
So they like go to like kind of regroup and stuff. So they go to like this one little cave. And it was
Yeah.
really cool. They were like, oh, this is like,
It was so colorful and green.
yeah, it was really, this is like, Bo is like, I thought all the plant life on Mandalore was dead. And they're like, well, when no one was around, it started to regrow. It was a nice, hopeful moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it, especially because I've been like getting into foraging, and I think that's really cool that they can learn again, like how to grow things, and like you said, just like they just know that the planet isn't dead; it can regrow. They can restart and redo
Right. Like
everything.
there's hope for this planet that's been so destroyed. It's very nice.
It's a nice touch to the whole like getting Mandalore back.
Yeah. So then we get so Gideon sees his little map with little dots, and he's like, that one is Din and Grogu. We're gonna deal with them. And then Din calls R5. Uh, and so he kind of is like, R5, you need to come plug into the base so we can like get around and like do stuff. So R5 goes down, and he's like, there's like some asteroids going around. He's like stealthy, like, trying to hide from them and stuff, and plug in and tells them what to do. Except Din doesn't speak binary.
Yeah.
It was really funny because every time we've seen people do this with a droid, like with Chopper or R2 or anyone, when they plug in, they're like communicating, like they always speak binary. So it was really funny that Din was like, I don't know what you're saying, but sure, I'll go this way. And it's like, what if
Sounds
it's
good.
not what he said? It was very funny. Yeah, and then we get really cool, the other Mandalorians. So Axe is like going to crash the ship, and the other Mandalorians come down, and the armor is like, Lady Grease, we have your reinforcements. And they come down, and the armor has a jetpack now. She hasn't worn a jetpack before. She's always just been kind of like jumping. But she has a jetpack now, and she's like flying through and smacking him with her hammer, and she's so cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
Again, I aspire to be her when I'm like playing a game and I'm a flying character. Just that all day.
You can be Mercy and hit people with your stick. That's what you do.
Yes.
But yeah, so then, and there was a really cool fight. So it was like a hallway of the like little shieldy things, sort of like in the Phantom Menace with like Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Maul, but they weren't like turning off and on some cycle. Like they're all on. And so R5, it kind of deactivates them one at a time, and there's like two guards in each shield thingy, and he like fights them, and so he like sneaks up in the first ones and gets them down really easy. And the other ones obviously see that, so they're getting ready for him to come through their shield.
I would be horrified.
it was a really cool fight scene though. Because I feel like I've loved the season, but there haven't been as many cool fight scenes in this one for Din compared to like
Mhm.
season one and stuff. So it was really cool to see Din like kind of in action like that again, and especially because again when he got captured, they took a lot of his weapons and stuff.
His equipment,
So
his items.
he's really like barehanding this, and he like takes their weapons. He, like at one point has like the shield and like staff thing, or the baton, I think it was, and then like a really funny scene was one is falling backwards and Din tries to like reach out and grab the gun, but he misses, so he doesn't have a gun. Uh, it was this really cool scene. And then also while this is happening, some mouse droids find R5
Oh my god.
and
Well,
start
it's one. And then
he
it's like,
comes
oh,
back.
that's
They
horrifying.
have
And he
little
comes back with the squad.
there's like three of them, and they all have their little like sirens, like little police like lights. It's so funny. Um, and R5, he like knocks one off the edge and then like flies away, which we haven't seen a flying astromech droid since Chopper, basically. So just I love seeing them fly. I think they should fly more.
Mm-hmm.
He like flies away. Just saying, Chopper would have killed them all.
Yeah.
Instead, Chopper would have been much more efficient in doing that.
Well, he was straight to the point. He was like, I don't want to mess with these guys. Like,
I know,
you
but
know,
Chopper takes
he was
joy.
more mature.
Chopper takes joy in it.
Yeah.
I miss Chopper. I can't
We'll
wait.
get to see Chopper
We
soon.
will get to see Chopper again soon. I just want him to kill everything.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything.
Right.
That's what I said. I said to someone, I was like, like we know Hera cannot die tragically, because if she does, Chopper will burn down the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
Like, and then no more Star Wars. Like Chopper killed everyone.
Yeah. That's when the long time ago like plays in. Like it's just
Yeah, no, the last Star Wars is Hera dies and Chopper just rampage kills every single person in the galaxy. This is what he does. Chopper
Yeah.
becomes the Death Star 3.
Yes. And a more efficient one.
A much more efficient one. Oh, it's so much more efficient. But yeah. So R5 flies away. And then Din walks through the like this creepy hallway, and it's all these like little tanks with like the Gideon clones.
Why didn't he make them like younger? Like
Because
does he
they
think that's like
didn't.
his prime time?
He probably does. Also, they probably didn't want to go through the effort of de-aging Giancarlo.
I just thought that would be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because then that would be like prime efficient, but also like they can use the force and they're cool, and so like there's no point. Like they could be like 100 years old, they'd still be overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, and who knows? They could have been like cybernetically, like they could have had stuff. I don't know. But anyway, not anymore because Din explodes all the time.
Why is there an explode button?
Listen. Sometimes.
Listen, what?
Sometimes you just want to have that option. I don't know.
But how did he find it so easy? He was like, yeah, all right, so I see these things. All right, here's a button. Cool, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
I like
the explode button. Also, when he like goes right up to the Gideon thing, and the one Gideon tube, my dad, and he's like his eyes closed. My dad was like, he's gonna open his eyes, and then he opened his eyes. And I still got scared, even though my dad just said he's gonna open his eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I was also like, yeah, he's gonna open his eyes. Called it. But poor Grogu.
Poor Grogu, very scared. But yeah, we get some awesome fights with Bo flying with the darksaber and the armor smacking people and they're shooting. Costco Reeves had some really good moments in that fight too.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome. And then So Din and Grogu go into Gideon's little room, and Gideon's mad. He's like, "You broke my clones. Um, that's not nice.
Yeah.
I worked hard at them." Um, but Din does not want to talk. He wants to kill.
hmm Yeah,
Uh,
it doesn't really seem to care. He's just like, yeah, I did. You are right. I did take their first breath away from them.
yeah.
On
So
God.
they're fighting. Din and Gideon are fighting. And then those Praetorian guards join in, and we saw what they did to Paz, so we're like, oh crap. But then Grogu, Din's really in trouble, and Grogu comes in going, no, 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 and that was like, it was really funny when he was spamming the no button last episode. It wasn't funny this time. It was very sad this time.
Yeah.
Uh, but so they fight, and they actually destroy IG-12, so that was very short-lived.
Yeah.
But then Grogu's like jumping around on like the
Yeah.
ceiling lights, and I will say those Praetorian guards were like very like chill with like, okay, I guess we're killing a baby now. Like they were
Yeah, that.
like,
But they also couldn't kill the baby.
no, they were not very good at killing the baby. But you kind of, they're very like instantly like, all right, well, guess I gotta mess up this toddler. Like no hesitation whatsoever. Um, while Gideon and Din are fighting. Um, and Din, Din's in a bit of a tough spot. Grogu's in a bit of a tough spot, kind of jumping around, having to, you know, try not to get hurt. Poor little Grogu, just a baby.
Yeah. He's
And
doing very
so
well though.
he was
Again.
doing pretty good. He did fall, like the one cut the like little light in half, and he fell. But Bo shows up. It was a very cool moment. Because Gideon's kind of mocking Din. He's like, "You can't do anything to me without all your toys." And Bo is like, "Well, Mandalorians are never alone."
Which is so funny because he has like his whole suit as a toy.
I
What is
know.
that about?
It's like, listen, and like, dude, you had the dark saber and Din beat you. Like,
Yeah, like, bro,
Din
what are you
beat
talking
you
about?
in a fair fight. Din beat you, dude. Like, that's not, like, yeah, it was funny. What are villains if not hypocrites? But
Complete hypocrites.
but yeah, so
Yeah.
Bo ends up fighting Gideon for a while Din goes, and while they're distracted by Grogu, Din and Grogu kind of team up and they get to kill the Praetorians. Um, and then while Bo and Gideon are fighting, Gideon like grabs her hand, and he has his like enhanced like hydraulics or whatever in his suit, and he like literally just crushes the dark saber.
Yeah.
It crunches.
Which at first I was like, and then I was like, you guys don't need it. It's cool. It sucks that it's broken because it's so cool. But
No,
also, you guys don't need it.
Yeah, I think that was such an important thing. Like, Darksaber is awesome. I'm gonna miss it.
Yes.
But it was ultimately it was supposed to be a symbol that would unify Mandalore, and ended up doing the opposite. Like it became so much more of a problem. So I think for Mandalore going forward, it's good that it's gone. Also, not impossible. Like they could fix it. I don't think that's impossible. Also, like the armor seems pretty good at doing stuff. But if it stays gone, I think that's okay too. It's like it became a symbol for the opposite of what it was meant to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so Gideon's like kind of beating them, and they're fighting, and
But
da
then
da.
Axe Wolves comes in.
Yeah, Axe Wolves, he crashes down and he like punches out the window and leaves like literally right before it starts
Yeah.
hitting the like base.
Yeah, that's why he left and I was like, see,
He
there you go. Someone
he
gets it.
waited to the last second. But yes, he did get out. Um and yeah, so Gideon ends up like burning up in the explosion, like he's done.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think that's
Grogu
funny
makes a
because
little force bubble to protect.
why wasn't his
Bo.
armor good against fire?
Yeah, that seems like a bit of an oversight.
But then that's also like there was no body. So
There was no body.
now I'm suspicious. Until
Also,
I see a dead body, I'm not.
also, there are Gideon clones who look to be the same age as Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that could be why he made them look the same age to
That's what I'm saying.
trick people.
There's too
So,
much there.
I think it could be if it's the end of Gideon, I am happy with that. I think this was a good ending. If they
Mm-hmm.
haven't closed the door yet, if they're waiting to bring him back, I think that could also be really interesting. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so many half open doors that I'm just curious to see where it goes. If we're gonna close them or push them open again in this finale. Very exciting. But yeah, Grogu makes a little like bubble to protect them from the fire, which was really cool, compared to the season one finale where he does basically the same thing, but he clearly is a lot stronger in the Force now. It's bigger, and he's still, he kind of plops down a little bit after, but he seems less worn out from it than
Mm-hmm.
he did in season one. So it's cool to see Grogu kind of growing throughout the series. I'm excited to see his character.
Yeah.
And what happens. But yeah, so then they
Yeah.
go down to the mines of Mandalore, and Ragnar does his little
Oh,
baptism again.
have you seen Steven Universe yet?
No.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say there's this character that like has the main character has like this power, where it's just a shield, but he can make it into like this giant bubble, kind of like Violet from Incredibles. That's what that reminded me of, Grogu. That's all. Yeah, that's all.
that's all.
But yeah, he has his next baptism.
Yes, Ragnar gets baptized again. I don't know if they just like, I guess his got sort of interrupted by the giant monster in the water. So I guess they just haven't had the chance to do it again since. But he gets one in the actual living waters of Mandalore. And someone pointed out that he goes and stands next to Axe Wolves after. So it's, maybe Axe
Hmm.
adopted him after he was
Uncle.
double orphaned.
Man, can you imagine getting triple orphaned?
At that point, you just gotta give up on parents, man.
Yeah,
Like,
it's hard to have a
that's
parent in
hard.
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Um, yeah. So, but if that was, if Axe did adopt Ragnar, that's nice because Axe and Paz were kind of button heads, but it's nice that Axe kind of steps up there. Very kind of him.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then so Din is like, oh, can we baptize Grogu so he's no longer a foundling but an apprentice? Um, but they're like, well, Grogu can't speak yet. He's too young. And Din is like, well, he doesn't. If he doesn't speak, then his parents can give permission. Um, and she's like, oh, so Din kind of formally adopts him, and they became like a clan of two in season one, so became a family. But I think this is a formal like I'm his parent.
Yeah,
So
which
I
I've
mean,
been
he's
waiting
been
for. I think
his
everyone has been waiting for.
yeah. I mean, and he's been his parent the whole time, but like it was formalizing it, uh, which is always
Hmm.
good. So he becomes Din Grogu. So
Yeah.
is Din the family name? And his
Yeah, I'm
like
guessing
given
Din is
name.
the last
So his
name.
given name is Jaren. Also,
Jaren.
people just call him Din. So
Yeah.
I have some questions about Mandalorian naming conventions. Cause like Bo and Satine share a last name. It's not like Kryze Satine. So
I don't know.
curious
I'm
about
not Dave
different
Filoni.
Mandalorian. I'm curious about the different Mandalorian naming conventions now.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so that's the thing. But yeah, so the armor says since you have an apprentice, you are, are to go on a journey and teach him. She says, like, as your teacher did for you. And so
Mhm.
you travel around and learn the way out in the galaxy. Also the Mythosaur is like still down there hanging out. He didn't really
Yeah.
do anything, but he was he was there. Um, yeah, so Din and Grogu head out into the galaxy. Um, and so Din goes out to
Navarro.
first he goes to the New Republic,
Oh,
that like
yes.
pilot bar Carson
Yeah,
Teva hangs
with
out
Dave
at.
Filoni. That's
With
not
Dave
me.
Filoni, Dave is there.
Mhm.
He's wearing the hat.
Yes. That's
Trapper Wolf, sorry.
that's
Trapper
how
Wolf.
I saw him. But it's casual Trapper Wolf.
Casual Trapper Wolf.
Mhm.
Um,
So that way Dave Filoni is always in costume.
yeah. Yeah, but they're hanging out. So Din he basically asks, Carson Tatum's like, hey, good job, and kill him off Gideon. And then Din is like, hey, I want to be an independent contractor for the New Republic to work on, helping hunt down the Imperial remnants and stuff. So
Mhm.
it'll be a case by case basis. And Tatum's like, I don't know if that'll get approved, but like, we'll do it on the down low, which is nice.
Yeah.
And there is a little IG-11 head, or little IG head up on the bar, and Grogu hops up, and Din is like, "Oh yeah, he reminds him of his friend, of our friend," and he's like, as like his advance payment, he asks for that head to use it for parts. Uh, and there's also some chicky nuggies there for
Yes.
Grogu. He was eating
That
the.
look
He
like chicken
finally got his
nuggets.
chicky nuggies.
Mhm.
um,
It's been so long. It took too long.
it took 3 seasons for Grogu to get chicky nuggies. Yeah, but
Mhm.
then so they go back to Navarro, and Grease Karga. So Din is able to give the Anzellans that droid head that has the parts in it, and so they rebuild IG-11. So no longer a mech suit for Grogu, but as actual
Mhm.
IG-11. Who, man, those droid parts are so durable. They have been destroyed absolutely brutally so many times, and he still comes back together.
I think he
Like,
looks great.
no, he looks great. He's got a fresh paint job. He looks good.
Mhm.
But especially
Yeah,
considering
everyone's welcoming him.
he's been destroyed like 3 times now. There's like the
Mhm.
Anzellans truly do great work. I see why they're so respected. Um, but yeah, so Din is gonna do his New Republic independent contractor work, and while he's not working, he now has a little cabin on Navarro, living a nice little. He's got a little
Yeah.
home for him and Grogu.
It
Grogu's
looks
floating
like
frogs around.
Yeah, it looks like a Mexican like ranch that they're on. He's just kind of chilling. And it looks it reminds me of Paris, California. Just because it's a desert, but also like it's just he's just chilling. He's technically retired, not really retired, but kind of retired.
Independent
Um,
contractor.
and then Grogu's playing with
No,
frogs,
it was
and
such a great ending. It's the kind of ending where like if this was the ending of the show, I would be thrilled. Like I was
Mhm.
like, this is a good place to leave the show off. But it's not. We're getting a season 4, which
Yeah.
is awesome. Um,
But also, it doesn't have to be about, Din. Like, Mandalorian is Mandalorian. There's as we've seen, there's a bunch of Mandalorians
yeah. I mean,
now.
I hope it's still Din. I think, I still love season one, how it's little bounties and little missions, little missions
Mhm.
every week. I think that's my favorite part of this show is how it's a bit more episodic than I think a lot of the other shows, a lot of the other live action shows have been. And so the independent contractor storyline is going to be fantastic for that. You can have a new little mission every week, which is what I want.
Yeah.
And I hope it still follows in. Obviously, I would like to check up on how rebuilding Mandalore is going with Bo and the armorer and everybody. But I do hope we still follow Din. Because as much as they said, I know someone said like, well, the Mandalorian doesn't have to just meet Din. The main theme doesn't play when other people do cool things. It plays when Din does cool things. Like he
Yeah.
is the Mandalorian.
I
Uh
just like the ending transition of the little bubble. I like that a lot.
oh yes, the little like Looney Tunes. Oh, great. It was
Mhm.
fantastic. Yeah, this is an absolute great ending to season three, and it's one I'm definitely satisfied with. I don't know when on the schedule season four is. I'm sure it'll be at least a year. Uh, Hopefully not too much longer than that, but um, it's definitely an ending that I can just sit with for a bit and be like, okay, I'm happy with this. When the new next season comes, I'll be happy, but like, uh, I can sit with this for a while.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just such a fantastic ending.
Mhm. Yes,
And
and I'm very excited for the next season. I kind of personally hope that they can just um be themselves and be happy and be chill.
hmm
Like, I would honestly rather have um the show be more on focusing on rebuilding, maybe. I mean, that's just because I really want to see Mandalore, but and then like have Din every now and then be like, I have a side quest to do.
I'd rather it be Din side quest, like every week is a Din side quest, and then we kind of check in, like, oh yeah, Mandalore is good.
Hmm.
um, because I think I want the building of Mandalore to go smoothly. Like I don't need them to just keep getting attacked. Like let them actually rebuild for a while, like Navarro did. But that doesn't make for good TV. Like Bo meeting with contractors and like figuring out where to put different buildings. That's not that doesn't well, I mean it could make for good TV, not Star Wars TV. So I'd rather see Din and Grogu going on fun little missions and then like call up Aunt Auntie Bo and be like, hey, how's Mandalore? She's like, oh good, we just built another school. It's like, oh that's awesome. You know?
Yeah, I want to see Mandalore. That's what
I'm
I'm
sure
excited
we
for.
will. I'm
Yeah,
sure we will.
but yeah, it was a good thing. Especially, it's a relief with with Bad Batch. It was a way not better ending like it was bad, but just better like satisfyingly.
No, this is
Um,
the ending we needed for Mando after what Bad Batch did to us.
yes.
That was cruelty.
Hmm.
Um,
But we were happily fed with this.
yeah, no, Mando was like, oh, was Bad Batch mean to you? Here you go. I have something for you. You'll be okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, well, that's the ending of Mandalorian season three. Uh, yeah, I'm really excited for Mando season four, for other things. I'm sure Din will be around in other
Mhm.
projects, like at least in Dave's movie. I'm sure we'll see him. But I really wanna see his independent contractor adventures.
Yeah.
I think those are gonna be really fun. Uh, and I'm excited. I'm sure we'll get more Bo in the armor. I'm sure we'll get everybody, a little bit of everybody. I just hope mostly Din, especially because he did take a bit of a back seat this season, which was fine because I love Bo, but I would really like to see him really take the reins again in season three or in season four and kind of get that season 1 feel back in some ways. Because,
Mhm.
I think we even said in the podcast sometimes, like, yeah, Din's there. So
Mhm.
I want to see him do more than just be there.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's payback for Boba, but
it is,
you know what?
but
The whole season next should just be Boba.
it would only be payback for Boba if it was Boba doing it. It wasn't Boba doing it. So yeah.
Mhm.
No, I think no, he's owed 2 episodes of Mando season 4, I
Yes,
think.
I think the entire season, but
2, maybe 3. 2.5. Boba's owed 2.5 episodes of Mando
Mhm.
season 4. Um
Yeah,
and Fennec too. Fennec's there too.
yes, of course.
All right, well, what a great finale. We have Visions and Young Jedi Adventures, which I need to finish both of them. But I'm super excited to get to talk about them when I do watch them because I know I'm going to love them all. So we will podcast about those probably separately, probably not all in one, Visions and Young Jedi Adventures. Um, so
Mhm.
I think I said before, I don't like the binge model of shows because it makes it harder to watch. Because I can manage 45 minutes once a week, but binging a whole season of something is a bit harder. So when I get around to those, we will definitely podcast. And then, can you play Jedi Survivor when you're at school?
At school,
Like here, when you're not in California.
I don't have it, so
So
no.
no. Okay. So Jedi Survivor, I haven't started it yet, but I did. I've been putting off getting a newer Xbox. I still had last gen. And then I was like, I want Jedi Survivor. So I traded in my Xbox and got a new one to play Jedi Survivor. But I still
Oh,
haven't started it because I need to finish Battle Scars. I'm almost done.
mhm. Yeah,
But
I have so many games I need to beat already. Like I literally wrote a list the other day because I was like, I know that I have like the busiest semester now. I yeah, I didn't even try to do this to myself. Like I literally have like not that many credits. I still have my 2 jobs, which is still manageable. But then like my all of my classes are like we are the most like all my professors are like this is the most important class you'll take. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it is not. It is mixology. It's not important, but sure, whatever. Uh, so I literally, so I have like a list on my desk that's like, you still need to finish Resident Evil 4. You still need to finish Final Fantasy, what is it, 9 and 10 and 11 and Kingdom Hearts. And I'm like, and of course, I started Final Fantasy, which was the worst mistake ever because, like, Final Fantasy, even if I had all the free time in the world, it would take me like a year to beat it anyway. Maybe not a year. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but it, yeah. Anyway, so I have so many games to beat. Um, I believe my dad is streaming Jedi Survivor uh, on Twitch. So that's pretty cool. He's also trying to get all the Fortnite skins as well.
oh, nice.
So yeah.
I have all of them except, well, I will never get Din or Darth Vader because I didn't play those passes. I didn't play Fortnite
Dang.
yet when they were a thing. But I have all the skins except Kylo and Zori, I think. I think I have everyone else. Oh,
Nice.
and I still need to unlock like Maul and Wolfpack Clone and 322nd. But yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. You can find us on starwarsgeekgirl.com is the website. There's like writing and things there. This month you can vote for your favorite episode of The Mandalorian season 3 on the homepage. So put your votes in for that poll. And then on Twitter and Instagram we're at SW Geek Girl, and on Facebook just Star Wars Geek Girl.
Mhm.
And
My family. I was like, yeah, awesome. Completely. Rogue Rebels. You got the roguerebels.com. You got Instagram and TikTok at the Rogue Rebels, Twitch at Rogue Rebels, podcast wherever you listen to Star Wars Geek Girl, Facebook page, the Rogue Rebels, and Twitter at Rogue Rebels Fam. Check out Twitch. I believe my dad is streaming, like I said, the Jedi Survivor. If you want to go and say hi, watch it. Yeah.
yes. So thank you so much for listening. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzy.
May the force be with you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.